Hey, Shalom. First off, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakwakadash, Yahweh, who the word ignorantly calls God, Yahweh Shai, who the word ignorantly calls Jesus. I want to give with them my honor to the apostles of Great Millstone, who has taught me this truth. I want to give a peace and blessings to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, who teach this truth and risk their life to do so. It's going to be a quick video. Lord, when the video is edifying, Lord, when the Akim get some from this video. A quick video, man, through the Spirit. I was reading. And I was actually, trying to find a couple scriptures to get into to make a video, and I came across this. So I was in reading Sirach, and I wanted to get it in a GNT, because it's good to go to different translations, but always stick with the KJV, being that that's the first translation. And I always say that, because you got Jake that'll go right to the NLT. You got Jake that'll go right to, the GNT or the CSB or the NIV, these different translations, right? And don't understand that it's certain things in the NLT, it's certain things in the KJV that it don't say in the NLT. It's certain things that, so you got to understand. And really, to be honest with you, if you ain't got the Spirit and the Lord don't want you to understand, you're not going to understand. You know what I mean? But if you notice, people in the world, like your so-called Christians, right? They'll read in other translations, and the main thing you'll hear is, or the main thing I've heard was, it's too hard. The KJV is too hard to read because it's like broken English or old English. But really, they just don't have the Spirit to understand it. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. But again, just quick video. This is something that I've had battles with, on and off, on and off, on and off. Being a younger man, coming into this truth, but now being, still a younger man, late 20s, right? In this truth that, you have to learn, right? And that's discipline, okay? And discipline is a jewel for everyday life. But first and foremost, you have to have it in order to be in this truth. You know what I mean? Because there's going to be some times where, man, you might not feel like you might not feel like making a video. You might not feel like, doing certain things. You know what I mean? But but sometimes you got to make yourself do it. It's not about, and I've saying this all week, it ain't about you. It ain't about me. It ain't about what the fuck we feel all the time. You know what I mean? It's about the job and what we have to do. Because it's a saying in the world. It says, when warriors go to battle and men go to war, no one wishes that they would have practiced less. Okay? And I played sports growing up. So, when it was game time and game day, you didn't wish that, you was nervous and this and that. Ooh, when I played football. So, it was like niggas is coming to try to take your head off, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? It wasn't like, you'd be nervous, man. You know what I'm saying? You'd be nervous, especially you getting the ball and this 11 niggas trying to come take your motherfucking head off, man. You know what I mean? And once you in that scenario, you want to be, you in your mind, you like, man, I hope I'm at my top tier, performance right now. Not just to perform good, but to stay healthy and make it out this motherfucker. You know what I mean? Without no, pulled hamstrings or no dislocated shoulders or no broken fingers or a concussion or, but all that comes from what you do outside of game day. Game day is one day, but you have 6 other days that it starts with. Those 6 other days trickle into game day and determine, how you're going to play during the game. Same thing in this truth. You know what I mean? It's about what you're doing in your everyday life. You know what I mean? Are you walking like a Hebrew Israelite? Are you, presenting yourself as the new man and trying to add, trying to sharpen the traits that the new man comes with. You know what I mean? you know? And sometimes your flesh can get in the way, right? But when discipline, takes over, you have enough willpower to remove, get the flesh out the way, man. Nah, hell no, we got work to do. Okay, yeah, my body feel tired, but we got work to do. You know what I mean? Or I got a video to make. I gotta read, or I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Even in your everyday work, you know what I mean? Like whatever you do for your job, you know what I'm saying? Or if you have a little side hustle or a hustle that you do, or you own a business, right? Especially if you own a business, you understand that discipline is the key factor, man. Okay? To obtain wisdom, you gotta have discipline. Okay? Matter of fact, let's grab this. I think it's in 4, Sirach 4. Yep, Sirach 4. And I'll start at 15. It says, whoso giveth ear unto her is talking about wisdom, shall judge the nations, right? It says, and he that attendeth unto her shall dwell securely. It says, if a man commit himself unto her, he shall inherit her, and his generation shall hold her in possession. And you have, part of committing yourself to wisdom is study, right? Watching videos, getting around Akim, asking questions, right? Even the questions that you don't, that you may be embarrassed to ask, you know what I'm saying? Ask them, because like I said in the last video, I read a quote, and I read a lot of quotes, man. It's good to hear a lot of stoic quotes, man. You know what I'm saying? It's some wisdom in there too, you know what I mean? But, the man who asks the question is a fool for the moment, but the man who doesn't ask the question is a fool for life. You know what I mean? So which one, they both hurt. One just hurt way worse than the other one. You know what I mean? So which one would you rather be, a fool in the moment or a fool for a lifetime? And I'm learning things too about myself, man, even now, you know what I mean? That sometimes, you think that you could, I ain't saying all brothers, but sometimes it'll be, a demon a hop on you, you know what I'm saying? And you think you above the program, or you think you above certain things, right? You think, I ain't gonna say above the program, but you think that, a everyday nigga can't tell you nothing. You know what I mean? Because he this, he that, he ain't this, he ain't that, he ain't this, he don't serve the Lord, he this and that. But listen, bro, you got to be humble enough to even to hear. Here's my son tripping. You got to be humble enough to hear certain things, man, from people. I heard that yesterday. It says this dude was like, I'll never tell a nigga I hate the truth about himself. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want because when they, he said, I would never talk shit to my enemy because he might pick up what I'm saying. You know what I mean? He said, when you talk to people and you mentioning their flaws to them, that's really, he was like, that's really like, a form of love. Now, obviously, if you're doing it in a disrespectful way, no. You know what I'm saying? But when you rebuke a brother, right, that's a form of love, man. Because you point something out to him that he might not be able to, that he might couldn't see. And it might be that one thing that he needed that was in his way, that been in his way, for him to get out of his way, for him to prosper and grow. It might be one thing, man. One thing, right? And the dude gave the example. He said, man, I got a celebrity barber, you know what I mean? And it's one thing that he does. He's one of the best barbers out there, but it's one thing that he does that he lost me as a client, and he's losing other high-paying guys as clients. And he said, the one thing that he does is he's always 10 to 15 minutes late. I always if I make an appointment at 10 o'clock, I know I ain't gonna get in the chair until 10:15 to 10:20. And for that, I went to go find another barber. And then same thing, other guys went to go. And this is what the guy was saying. I'm like, damn, And he was like, I had somebody just tell him, hey, bro, work your appointment on time. You know what I mean? He'll have way more money. You know what I mean? Not saying he don't have chili, but he wouldn't be losing clients. You know what I mean? And sometimes that one thing you can't see. He might think his talent outweigh time. You know what I mean? And yeah, okay, sure. You might think your talent outweigh time, but when you're dealing with successful people, their time outweighs everything. Their time outweighs their money. You know what I mean? So you can't be that arrogant to think that your talent outweigh time. And then, but me hearing that, I translated it to myself. Okay, well, what am I doing? And then when it get presented to you, what you're doing, you got to change it. But in order to change it, you got to be able to be humble to hear it, man. You know what I mean? This is Sirach 4:15. It says, whoso giveth ear unto her shall judge the nations, and he that attendeth unto her shall dwell securely. If a man commit himself unto her, he shall inherit her, and his generation shall hold her in possession. For all the first she will walk with him by crooked ways, and bring fear and dread upon him. Right? And when you come to the first step to come to the Lord is fear. Right? The Lord gives wisdom. Okay, it says, and torment him with her discipline. See? Torment him with her discipline. Right? Oh, and indeed, wisdom is earned. You can't buy it. It's earned. Real wisdom. You could buy certain things in the world and all that, but this truth, you can't buy it. It has to be earned and given to you. And you have to maintain and keep it. That's what I mean by earn it. You have to maintain and keep it, man. That's part of earning it. You know what I'm saying? It says, until she may trust his soul and try him by her laws. See, it says, then will she return the straight way unto him and comfort him and show him her secrets. Okay. But if you go wrong, she will forsake him and give him over to his own ruin. Observe the opportunity, and beware of evil, and be not ashamed when it concerneth thy soul. And that's why scriptures say it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power, because, we in this flesh, man. You know what I mean? And you got thoughts, you got certain things that, could trigger you, and Esau make it so readily available, but still, you don't have an excuse to go off. You know what I mean? And that's where at brothers, scripture says just man falleth 7 times and get back up, but the wicked fall into mischief. You know what I mean? But you don't want to fall and keep falling and keep falling and keep falling and keep falling. You know what I mean? And, keep being a victim to, this sin and that sin and this same sin and this same sin. And then you think, oh, I'm in the flesh and all that. No, man, the Lord knows if you're trying or not. It says, then she'll, it says, but if you go wrong, she'll forsake him and give him over to his own ruin. Observe the opportunity, beware of evil, and be not ashamed when it concerneth thy soul. Okay? It says, okay, that was it on that. Okay? Discipline is everything, man. And I'm learning that more and more and more and more and more. Discipline is everything. And guess what? Sometimes, hell, even in the beginning, it might be most of the time you might not feel like doing something, man. I don't feel like doing that. I don't feel like doing this. And I'm not talking about in the truth. I'm just talking about everyday things. Like, maybe you don't feel like going to the gym. You know what I mean? And you pushing it up. But ultimately, your goals don't give a fuck about your excuses. You know what I mean? Your goals don't give a fuck about your excuses, man. And the only person you're going to disappoint when you're doing shit like that is yourself. You know what I mean? Because, you'll be put in the want something for nothing spirit. Like, okay, sure, you went to the gym 2 or 3 months, or for 2 months, right? But you took 3 weeks off, and now you're back looking out of shape and looking sloppy. Yeah, you're going to feel away. You know what I mean? But you can't really feel away because you didn't have the discipline, right? But this is the trick that I heard about discipline. It says, do something so long to where it becomes a habit. So when discipline fails you, your habits won't. Okay? So if you're used to reading every day, if you're used to making a video every day, if you're used to doing things in this ministry every day, you know what I mean? It take discipline to do it every day, but the moment you feel like doing it, or you think it might slip your mind, it's a habit. So you might have did it anyway. You're gonna do it anyway, or you might have did it and didn't know you did. You know what I'm saying? Because it's such of a habit now. You know what I mean? So discipline yourself to become a habit, and then your habits will carry you. You know. This is my children. Learn to value wisdom while you are young, and you will still be able to find her when you grow old. It says, work as hard to find wisdom as a farmer works to plow and plant his fields. Then you can expect a good harvest. You will have to work at it for a while, but you will soon be enjoying what you have earned. Undisciplined people find wisdom's demands too hard and don't have enough determination to meet them. Okay? And one thing I want to say too is that the Lord wants us to work, man. You know what I mean? We Jake has this persona, like, coming out to this world. Jake don't like working, man. You know what I mean? Because I don't, you know what I'm saying? But the more I grow, you know what I'm saying, the more I realize that, no. It ain't about not working. It's about, you gonna work, but now it's about even stepping it up within your work in all areas of life, whether it's in your real thing that you do to earn income, or even in its truth. Step up. Really mash, man. You know what I mean? It says, because, Micah 2:10 scripture said this is not our rest. So we're going to catch hell. We're going to go through this. We're going to go through that. You know what I'm saying? But, bro, we not in the kingdom. You have to work. Even when you don't feel like it, you got to go. You know what I'm saying? You might not feel like getting up early. You got to get the fuck up. You might not feel like doing certain things, man. You might feel like this. You might feel like that. But those are all feelings, man. You got to be stoic, like Pastor Hart said, a couple weeks ago, or a couple months ago. Made a video talking about being stoic. He mentioned being stoic. You know what I mean? The longer you're in this truth, the more you become like that. It says her requirements are a burden. It says, her requirements are a burden heavier than they are willing to bear, and they quickly lay them aside. Yeah. You had dudes that say, oh, I don't, that are Jake by blood, but don't want to accept it because the discipline, because the burden that it comes with, that wisdom comes with, man. Okay? It says discipline means just that, discipline, and not many people are able to discipline themselves. Okay? See, it's a rare thing. It's a rare thing to have discipline, man. If you can have discipline, man, you already a couple steps ahead of the everyday person. You know what I mean? But how hard is it to have discipline? You understand? And again, I ain't perfect with discipline. You know what I mean? But me being aware, I have to work on it, because if we don't, you'll end up in an uncomfortable spot. In the spirit, financially, you know what I mean? As a man, you might feel a certain way in a moment, you know what I mean? But tomorrow will thank you for today's work. It's a quote. It says, putting off, or what did it say? It says, putting off today makes tomorrow hard, but being disciplined today makes tomorrow easy. Roughly paraphrasing the quote, you know what I'm saying? Used to be the background on my phone, but yeah, man, discipline is everything, man, everything. And as a disciple, as a apostle, as a teacher, as a prophet, You know what I'm saying? Like, those men had structure, those men had discipline, those men had, you know what I mean? And us being, prophets, and it's time, Lord willing, to be one of those men, right? Us being men of the Lord, we have to have discipline, you know? That's one thing that's required, man. You know what I mean? Now, how much discipline it take to put off the old man? Man, we've been marinated in the Babylon juice. You got to have discipline. Okay? And that's power. Okay? So with that, man, Lone video is edifying. Lone Akim got something from this video. Just quick video, through the spirit. I needed it. Lord willing, you brothers, find it edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, and Kakadash. And I want to tell you brothers to keep pushing on to the next. Shalom.